Before we start this review, I think we just need to make it very clear that DJ Quik is one of the GOATs. Go ahead and look at his discography and production credits and then get at me. What's up, everybody? It's Luke James, not the singer. If you're looking to get your music reviewed, you can hit up this email that's right here. But today, I am very happy to talk about this new album from DJ Quik and Problem called Rosecrans. Now, don't get this one confused with the EP by the same title, because what they did here was take that EP, add some tracks, and make it into a full project. And I was really looking forward to peeping this because I have long been a fan of DJ Quik. If you're not familiar with who DJ Quik is, he's an MC and producer from out of Compton who's been in the game for like damn near 30 years. He has a crazy discography and crazy production credits, as I mentioned on that intro. And Problem is from Compton as well, although he hasn't been in the game for quite as long. He does have a lot of mixtapes out there floating around, but other than that, I'm really only familiar with Problem from the Rosecrans EP and now this album, as well as a couple of stray features here and there. So I think this was a nice opportunity for him to shine, and he definitely took full advantage of it because he has two solo tracks on here called Straight to the City and You Are Everything, where he really does go into detail about that West Coast culture while also rapping a little bit about his humble beginnings. So you get to know a little bit about Problem, about what he's been through as far as coming up and putting in work so that he could do better for his mother. And these beats are a little bit different from much of this project because they have this sound that's more traditional with those sample-based productions. So I thought they were kind of interesting, man. They stuck out from the rest of the project. Problem did his thing on there, but man, we got to talk about how dope some of these other beats are because I think it's the production that really takes this to the next level. On the song A New Nite / Rosecrans Groove, this is another one that's from the EP, you get this crazy G-Funk beat. The bass line on it is just amazing, as well as that catchy hook from Shai. And then you get this instrumental outro that is just sexy as fuck, man. I love that instrumental outro. You can really ride out to it. It has these 8-bit synths coming into effect, another slithering bass line, which DJ Quik is known for. So, I love that beat, man. I would just bend it over and, well, no, I would take it out to dinner first, maybe wine and dine it, you know what I'm saying, and just respect the hell out of that beat. Then maybe if it wanted to go further, we might do it. I'm just saying that beat is damn good. And another beat on here that I absolutely love is on that track Badass. This is another G-Funk one with some really thick drums. And I know you guys hear me talk about drums a lot, especially in my indie reviews when I sometimes say that their drums are lacking punch. But god damn it, man, DJ Quik always has great drums. You can really hear it on this track right here. Just saw some spit fly out of my mouth. I guess I'm getting really excited about drums, but god damn it, we're gonna keep rolling. But the snare on this track in particular has this extra stank on it, man. If you listen close on the intro of this song, Badass, you'll hear that there's another little instrumental layer on top of that snare. And it's just little things like that that make DJ Quik such an amazing producer. You also get a hook on here that throws back to Summertime in the LBC by the Dove Shack. So that was catchy as hell, man. Kind of sounded like a mix of Butch Cassidy and maybe even Nate Dogg, just a little bit, just throwing that out there. And even Dom Kennedy sounds alive on this track, man. On that last album of his, it sounded like he was just drunk off NyQuil, like he wasn't even trying, but he's bringing much more energy on this track. I actually think he sounds good when he works with DJ Quik, not just because of this one, but also because of that song Life Jacket from DJ Quik's album The Midnight Life. I think Dom did his thing on there as well, but there still are some kind of weird, funny bars on this thing. I mean, on this track, Dom Kennedy is rapping about how good head in the shower is, so hey, I guess he likes it really sloppy and wet. Maybe the girl likes to taste some Irish Spring when she's blowing people. That's cool. I'm not going to hate on you for doing that. And DJ Quik had this one line that I don't know, maybe I missed something, but it confused the hell out of me because he says something about how you shouldn't fear the Illuminati, but we should fear the water before we go in it and pee in it or something like that. I don't know, man. That shit just really surprised me, but I still love this track, man. Those drums are just thicker than Carmen Hayes or Cherokee to Ass if you really want to go back with it. Now, since I did just mention the content and the lyrics on this thing a little bit, I do have to say that the bars aren't too crazy or strong on here. I mean, the flows don't really get too out of hand. There wasn't anything that was too amazing to me as far as the flows and rhyme schemes. And content-wise, this is a pretty fun project, man. They're just representing for the West Coast because Rosecrans is actually this avenue that runs through Los Angeles. And you're going to get some of those funny bars, some of those sexual-related bars, just some party bars, maybe some hard-ass gangster type of bars in here as well. But there really isn't any deep content or deep concepts here. It's just a pretty fun project with amazing production that is definitely going to be turned up in the summertime for me, man. I love that G-Funk. I love how DJ Quik brings so many different synth effects, thick drums, as I said. He even ties in some of those sample-based productions, so really I can't hate on the beats, and that is one thing that really uplifts this project, as well as some of these hooks, because I mentioned a couple of them and how they're just so damn catchy. You also get a really nice hook from Candis on the title track. This one actually features Game, who once again is just repping for the West Coast and gangbanging culture, but her voice on there is very beautiful. This track is one of the more smooth and gentle ones that you could work with if you're just driving around on a sunny day, maybe, you know, lean back and with your eyes open. I don't know why I close my eyes like I drive like that. Hey guys, coming through. That would be kind of fucked up, but it is a very smooth track, and it's the same thing with that Chachi's Ride. Oh man, this shit is just so damn wavy. You knew I was gonna say that. It just has this very nice and smooth instrumental on some playalistic pimp shit to ride out to, and you get some really nice vocals from Brittany Barber and Brian J on this track. Everything about this is just very smooth and gentle, including the saxophone that comes in. That is so sexy, man. You know how I feel about sax by now. Every time I mention saxophone on beats, I almost get aroused, man. You got that saxophone, it sets the mood, you know what I mean? You might put her up by the windowsill and just start hitting it. Maybe there's some rain going down and it's just nice and romantic. The fuck am I talking about? But anyway, there were a couple tracks on here that I didn't like. I would say Move Something is kind of just a generic banger, though it does have another one of these catchy hooks, but there wasn't too much to it that stuck out to me, so I wouldn't come back to this track. And I also wouldn't come back to Take It Off One Time. This is another one from the EP. I didn't like it back then, and I still don't like it, man. It does have some very nasty bass rolls if you just want some shit to piss your neighbors off with, but other than that, the bars on this are kind of silly and mediocre, and that hook is just whiny and repetitive, man. It comes on way too many times. Take it off one time. I couldn't get into that shit, man. So I could have done without those two tracks. And This Is Your Moment featuring Wiz Khalifa has some of the album's most bland and boring production, as well as a Wiz Khalifa feature, which usually, I mean, let's be honest, Wiz Khalifa features usually aren't that strong. He doesn't really do anything different or rap about anything interesting. So these are the three tracks I didn't care for on here, and a big part of why I would give this one a 3.5. I did think about a 4 a little bit because I love these beats. I think the production on here is fantastic, including on that first track, European Vacation, which actually features AMG, who goes together with DJ Quik like bread and butter, man. Every time they come together, they make some gems. AMG is funny as well. He's got a bar on here about how this girl's pussy is bombed like a missile, so I guess maybe Trump is gonna fire it off in the Middle East somewhere or something like that. Just put this girl and just fire off of a cannon, man. That pussy's gonna blow some shit up. But you know what? I gotta say, this one did fall off a little bit on the second half of the album, so it wasn't overly smooth to me. There were a couple of moments I didn't care for, but it's still damn good, and I love that production. I can't stress that enough. But the last thing I got to talk about before we get out of here is how MC8 is featured on a couple of songs, including Central Ave and Niggas Think They Gon' Change Things. And the reason this is a big deal is because him and DJ Quik have had beef for a long ass time, man, especially way back in the day. There's a lot of shit going on within the music, and also because of their separate, different gang affiliations. So I think it was pretty cool how they're older now, they're veterans, they're pioneers on the West Coast scene, and finally they did a couple tracks together. So that was pretty cool. I would actually say Niggas Think They Gon' Change Things is the better out of these two tracks. You get this beat that swells up with organs, and then you have this choir coming into effect. And Sugar Free is on this track as well, bringing quotables like he always does, man. Sugar Free is always dropping gems. He asks you on here, what do you do when a woman asks you a question, then she asks another man a question because she didn't like your answer? That's some shit to ponder, man. What the hell are you supposed to do? But then he drops this philosophical gem and he asks you, have you ever had some pussy so good that you had to apologize because you nutted so fast? Not gonna say I've been there, I haven't, but okay, let's just say I've been there. But anyway, man, I ain't making excuses, man. Sometimes that shit happens, and like Richard Pryor says, you just gotta hope that it stays kind of heavy, if not hard, while it's up in that thing. But we're not gonna get into that too much more. That's all I have to say about this project. But hey, man, hit me up in the comments section and let me know what you think. I wanna know if you think DJ Quik is a legend and pioneer. Actually, I don't even need to ask you that, because I already damn well know. But hey, let me know what you think of this project. Do the usual things where you like my videos, you share them, you follow me on Twitter, retweet the videos, hit me up on Instagram, subscribe, all that good shit. Thank you for watching, everybody. I will see you next time.